Once uh, the author came across the leopard, and the leopard was disturbed in its uh, hunting. When the leopard was about to have its natural food, right at that time it was the intervention of the author that deterred the leopard to get his food. The author was a bit disappointed. After that, he heard those barking deers running for their lives. He understood that uh, the hunt is still on. Later, he explained that he was amazed to see a leopard so close to the human settlement. It happened due to the fact that the natural food of the leopard, which is uh, the deer and all other such animals, they have shifted their habitat. With them, the leopard also shifted its habitat. It followed them. And that is how the leopard had come so close to human settlement. Human settlement is something that is toxic for the existence of such kind of animals, especially leopards. They often avoid human association. Particular reason behind is that humans, like right now, let me tell you something. Right now we have progressed a lot. Now we are reaching the moon. We are no longer those hunter gatherers, which we have been one time when we were uh, uh, ancient men. We were cavemen. They are called troglodytes. Right then, it was our only choice to make a group to hunt some animals to have them in order to sustain. But right now, we have found other means to sustain ourselves. We are now self satisfied in producing our food, but still, there are those primitive habits which we could not erase. Again, we are trying to hunt the animals. We are trying to deforest the jungles. Now, do we really need to kill a tiger in order to sustain? No. So, it is not our need which it had been when we were troglodytes. It is our greed right now. So, still we are doing it, what I was telling. That it is right now not our greed, not our need, but actually this is our greed which is instigating us to keep on those old primitive habits. But probably, if you ask me, we are the only creature in this nature who are actually busy in destroying its own habitat, unlike any other creature in the nature. Have you ever seen any tiger or any elephant or any other creature destroying its own habitat, destroying jungles? No. But we are polluting our own environment, though we know that it is becoming toxic, that we are experiencing newer and complex diseases day by day, like cancer and all other things. But still, we have not stopped. That is a special trait which is there, present only in Homo sapiens. Then the author moved over, and he said that often while roaming about in the jungle, he could feel the presence of the tiger. He was a little bit alarmed one day when he was coming back home, and he could see a pair of bright glimmering object from the bush, and he thought that probably the leopard might have been waiting there for him, and the moment he will pass by the bush, the leopard would pounce upon him. We, the readers, we are also assuming the same thing once we read that he had seen those things. But later he understood that it was not the leopard. It were actually the two fireflies. They were hovering over the bush, and they went away. So by saying so, the author wants to convey the message that there was a mutual trust about which he had said earlier, and the cord of mutual trust in between the author and the natural uh, uh, animals, those wild animals, those nature, this cord was so intact and so tightly built in between them. We are not the natural food for the tigers. They will never attack human beings unless either there is shortage of food or they are injured. So this tiger was a healthy one, and there was a source of food in that cavern, in that deep gorge where all other animals were hiding. So it never occurred to the leopard to attack the author, or to have have some taste of human flesh. It never occurred to him. So his lives were passing just like that. He was uh, enjoying the whole nature. He was acquiring as much, uh, I should say, uh, as much happiness, as much peace as he could from the nature, from his surrounding. And right now, and this is how he was spending his days. One such day, he met a group of hunters, and he was astounded. He was a little bit scared and alarmed too. Right then, he understood that the existence of that leopard is now under threat, because there are some predators who are searching for the leopards. These predators are the hunters, group of hunters. Now, they used to hunt animals. They knew they were doing wrong, and they never had the belief of a mutual trust that can be established in between the animals and the humans. So they had that notion that the way they were hunting the animals must have been hunting them. And they used to carry weapons. One day they asked the author whether they had seen any leopard. The author denied, but he knew that the way he had seen the carcass of a barking deer lying unattended just beside the river, right then he understood that the tiger must have been intervened, disturbed during its meal. So now he had found the reason behind the disturbance. Now he had found the source of disturbance. These are the group of hunters. Now they were so desperate to get the tiger that whenever they saw anything moving in the jungle, they used to fire. So their intrusion in the jungle and their behaviors actually created a sort of imbalance there. The banging of guns could be heard anytime, anywhere. And that is the reason that all those lemurs and other animals, creatures, birds who used to live close by the author's cottage, they by and by went into the deeper forest, because they could understand that peace is broken. The cord of communication is now snapped with the presence of the hunters. But the author tried his best to discourage the hunters and to save the leopard. But it did not go the way the author wanted it should go. The hunters were still pursuing the leopard. One day the author was roaming and taking his usual stroll into the jungle when he came across a dilapidated, unattended mound. It was called Paritibba, and he decided to climb it and see what was there at the top of the Paritibba. Once he reached there, and this climb was never easy because this mound was not frequently visited by any human being. That's why there was no such ready-made path that led to the top. The author had to scramble up through the jutted out stones, and then at last he reached the top. Little bit down I am actually. There is a burning sensation in my throat. So what he saw there after reaching the Paritibba, that would take us by storm, that would actually make us go baffled. What he saw there, and what is that exciting thing which is going to happen again, that we will learn in our next class. Till then, stay tuned, and thank you very much for tolerating me for such a long time. Thank you.